Hi, I'm Brennan Houran. This is part 1 of my 2020 year in review on iRacing. This year was a little bit different than previous years because this year I focused all of my energy on league races, which I've learned is the best part of iRacing. This is my rig. It's a SimLab P1 with a Thrustmaster TX wheel, T3PA Pro pedals, and a Fanatic 1.5 shifter. I decided to join Season 16 of the Rickmos Sports Car Series. I was one of only a few drivers that joined alone without a team, and in a few seconds you'll see why that was a little bit challenging.
This is what's happened to Brennan Houran.
Round 1 started off pretty well. I got pole in my class, and it was smooth sailing for the first couple of corners, till I did this.
No, he certainly sustained the damage here. This was about 10 or 15 minutes ago. Oh, he missed a gear and got hit from behind. Then it is Jacob Beasley and Brennan Houran.
Not being on a team was pretty challenging because I had to come up with my own pit strategies for fuel and tires. I ended up just following the pro drivers and pitting whenever they pitted, which worked out pretty well for me because, as you can see here, I made it up to P3 in the championship by round 4. This got me a lot of attention, and I ended up joining Team eSport Racer with Greg Mack, Greg Brockway, Mitchell Peak, and Jason Boss, who is the current championship points leader. And as you can see here, I fit right in at the top of the leaderboard with them. Going into my first race weekend with the team was awesome. I got to give input on different setups that were perfected by our team's technical director, Greg Brockway. We also got to figure out different strategies and just do a bunch of practice runs together.
Now have a look at this behind Beasley. It's Chris Thorman trying to make a move past what looks like Brennan Houran. Brennan Houran's in 25th overall, 8th in class. He's in that eSport racer car. Now they begin to form up.
I ended up having a really strong race weekend here, finishing 3rd place in my first race with the team.
2 weeks ago. You never know. This could be the battle for the win if everybody ahead loses it. Space, but they're all trying to take control of the same piece of tarmac. This is Brennan Houran.
Moved on to my home race at Lime Rock Park. I live only a little over an hour away from the track. In real life, I am a photographer here, covering all sorts of stuff, different track days, IMSA events, PWC, SRO, all stuff like that. You can go to my website here, linked above, and also linked in the description. When I'm not playing iRacing, I'm either driving my real Miata or spending time at the track, so it's a lot of fun. After 10 rounds, my first season was finished, and I finished P3, which was pretty awesome.
And in the end, 3rd place with 176 points is going to be Brennan Houran. Great job there, Brennan.
Wow.
Great work, Nice job.
Way to go, Brennan.
Just stronger and stronger finishes all through the season. That was great.
Absolutely. Yep. And Brennan, this is your first season with us, I believe, correct? Yeah. Hey, hats off to you, man. Welcome aboard. What a showing. I mean, you came in here and just continued to improve right along, man. So, yeah, great drive this season. Way to stay focused.
I also went to the SCCA eSports Hoosier Racing Tire Super Tour. So super competitive because all these people are SCCA members, some of whom race this car in real life. So it's super fun, but also really, really difficult.
It's dangerous. It's so hard to drive. It's evil. It wants to just throw you around. It wants to slide around. It's so hard on cold tires. The Miata, it warms up and gets better, but it's not going to kill you on cold tires. And we're seeing that these top 9.
All right, and as we're looking at Brennan Houran now getting right up onto the rear of the car.
As you'll see in this clip, Sullen Rowland is one of the drivers who drives this car in real life, and you'll see I kind of get bullied out of the way going into turn 3.
So we got Gagliardo and Houran side by side going down through 12.
But again, it's always fun, but you kind of expect that from real world drivers. Don't want to get slowed up by some iRacing driver.
To that group of Coutinho and Allen, but it's coming into 3, and there you go. We've got at least one car off drivers left.
Did someone go up?
Yeah, we've got some damage to the 47 car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a little contact there, a little damage on the 49 maybe, yep. So we've got damage on a couple of cars there. He's going to save it there. I think that was
Yeah, that was Tilly, I think.
Got pretty tight going into turn 3 at Sebring as well. You'll see I kind of get within a few inches of that orange car right there, but didn't touch him, so it worked out well for me. This clip is pretty long, but it includes me, so I'll just let it play out.
And as you see, well, there's Zach Rubin.
Well, we are watching Brad Perez, who's currently your third fastest car out on track, and it looks like he's doing a little agricultural work for the Central Florida region down there, trying to cut all the grass that they have in the infield at Sebring here.
Taking care of the gopher problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Or trying to find the best spectating spot for the 12-hour when it gets shown again.
Sure. Carl was just taking care of Bushwick's problems with gophers. That's all it is. Please tell me you get that right. Okay,
yeah, we all love a good Caddyshack reference. Yeah, absolutely. All right. All right, and of course, my favorite car of the night, and that is the Dunkin' Donuts car, the number 94 car. We see that going around. Of course, that is in comparison to our reigning national champion in Spec Miata, Todd Burris, who is down from Florida way, typically drives.
In my defense here, he did brake super early, and I was not expecting it. And you can see I tried to avoid him, but I just couldn't.
Goes for the spin. Looks like he might need some iced coffee there.
Again, this clip features me, and just let it play out.
Behind Cheney is Miles Crab as they get in line now, coming onto the home and straight, kind of sitting out on an island. We're looking at the 47 car of Houran. And he now is drafting up behind the 243 car who we saw earlier. The 243, but Kevin Zhu had some issues there earlier in the race. You can kind of see that there as they come through 17 now.
Big mover up front, Brennan Houran, 25th on the grid, 11th on the final ticker.
We do have the battle for the last podium spot in the MX-5s and GP3 between Peak and Houran. Xander?
Also hopped into the IWRL. You can see I'm fighting here with my teammate Mitchell Peak on the last lap.
It looks like Houran's going to really need to get a monster launch out of the final corner if he wants to try something. You can see Mitchell Peak thought about defending. Now he goes in a little deep. He missed the apex there in the final corner, but it won't be enough. That 3 car length gap should hold. And let's go through the rest of the results as the drivers continue to cross the line. Paul Slavonic has taken a nice victory here in the
I was kind of upset that I didn't pass him here. He messed up on the final corner, but I did too, so we ended up just finishing how we went into the corner.
It was Mitchell Peak holding on to get that final podium position.
The Mazdas and Mustangs ended up getting moved to a new series called the TCR Classic Sprint Series. Nothing big really changed. It's just we didn't have to worry about getting murdered by the TCRs in every corner. So that was a kind of a nice change.
You know what, Alessandro, you hit the nail on the head.
Here's the finish of round 1 of that race. Coming out of the bus stop, you can see I'm super far back, but as you know, the draft on this track is just ridiculous, so I caught up to him pretty quick. I knew I wasn't going to be able to pass him though, so I just ended up pushing my team principal, Greg Mack, forward a little bit to make sure he finished ahead of David Payton. The sports car series didn't disappear, but it was updated. They now run the GT4 class alongside the TCR class. Team eSport Racer decided to field 4 of these Porsche Cayman GT4 Club Sports, driven by Greg Mack, Greg Brockway, Mitchell Peak, as well as myself. Unfortunately, during the first practice session of round 1, I had a pretty big incident which ended up breaking my steering wheel beyond repair. Due to current shipping delays, my replacement wheel won't be delivered for another few weeks. Looks like I'll be out of the running for P1 and P2, but I still might be able to fight for P3 in the championship if I give it 100% every single race. That's the end of part 1, kind of a sad way to end it, but that's how it goes sometimes. I plan on uploading YouTube videos once every month, every 2 months maybe, but until then, stay safe and maybe I'll see you on track.